today, May 7th, 2024. Can we have roll call, please?
The time is now 5:34 p.m. Mayor Desilme, Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin,
Present.
Councilman Galvin, Councilwoman Timothy,
Here.
Councilman Charles.
Present.
Vice Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Okay. We'll stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and that'll be by Commander Miranda.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for an invocation by Pastor Reuben Joseph from the New Generation Seventh-day Adventist Church of North Miami. Is Pastor Reuben here? Do we have a pastor that in the room that's willing to do the invocation? If not, I'll just go ahead and do the invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for your presence. I thank you for bringing us all together as a community. We're going to address a tough matter this evening, and I ask that you invite reverence and peace as we're about to take care of the city matter. In the name of Jesus, I do pray. Amen. Thank you. Okay, order of business, Mr. Attorney. Is the agenda
There
set?
Yes, Vice Mayor, the agenda is set. You may proceed.
Okay.
Tab A, a proposed resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, pursuant to Article 4, Section 18 of the City Charter, commencing the process of removing the city manager from office, suspending the city manager from duty immediately, appointing an interim city manager, and providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab A.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As instructed by the city attorney at our previous city council meeting, we are here tonight to vote on a preliminary resolution to remove Rasha Kamo as city manager of the city of North Miami. This decision was difficult, but the majority of the city council has stated in previous city council meetings, believe it's time to move in a different direction as it relates to the city manager's position. Prior to today, efforts were made to resolve this matter in a mutual, agreeable way to both the city and Ms. Carmo. Regrettably, those efforts have not been successful. Accordingly, we are here to adopt this preliminary resolution to remove the city manager and appoint an interim city manager as requested by the city charter. Before we allow public comment on the preliminary resolution, I will move to approve the preliminary resolution and the appointment of Annabelle Emmanuel as the interim city manager for discussion purpose. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We will now open it up to public hearing, but before we do, regarding public comments on this item, I would like to remind the public that all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body, not any members. Members of the public will be allowed 2 minutes to make a public comment. Repetitive comments should be avoided to assure all members of the public are provided with an opportunity to speak. If a prior speaker expresses your sentiment or opinion, you may state your name on the record and state in agreement with your prior speaker. In accordance to the rules of decorum, any person making disruptive or slanderous remark or who shall become boisterous while addressing the city council and refuse to stop may be requested to leave the meeting. In addition, we respectfully ask that members of the public allow each person to speak without interruption. Thank you. Madam Clerk, if we can have the public hearing is now open. And if you could just line up, everyone will have 2 minutes to speak. And please don't forget to state your name and address for the record. Thank you so much.
Madam Councilwoman, members of the council, I'm Max Sturman, architect, 13100 West Dixie Highway. I stand in full support of retaining Ms. Rasha Camus as city manager. As chairman of the DAPAC and former chair of the BDB, Business Development Board, I've had the opportunity to observe Ms. Camus' work ethic up close, and I highly recommend that the council members support her as city manager. During her relatively short period of time as city manager, she has performed the responsibilities of leadership and guidance of our city's daily operations in a transparent, open, and professional manner. Her actions have resulted in fiscally responsible decisions, thereby protecting the tax-paying citizens of North Miami, and I believe have been non-political and only in the best interest of the city. Do I need to stop? Okay. She previously managed a very successful CRA department for years, greatly improving the facilities and lives of a substantial number of local businesses and business owners. She also guided the process of securing a $200 million federal loan for our woefully deficient water treatment system. And we require her active leadership in order to successfully complete this essential project. Retaining Ms. Camus would provide stability for the future of North Miami. Her leadership against corruption and unbudgeted spending is essential to maintaining a solvent city of North Miami. Thank you.
Sarah McDevitt, 14490 Northeast 10th Avenue. So I've lived here 20 years. I've seen city managers come and go. I have never, ever seen the public come forward for any city manager. This sets a precedent. We all, whether we're small business owners, residents, members of the development community or the business community, I've received calls from every corner. People do not understand why this has been taken. This decision is really unfortunate, and I can say from personal experience, when we first purchased our property, we reached out to the CRA and were able, for the first time ever, once Rasha took her position at the CRA, to work through the CRA in a transparent and professional way. Prior to that, we never had a process that was evident on how to work with the CRA. When she left and then came back as city manager, I've seen her meet with business groups, with homeowner associations, constantly reaching out and working with the public. I've also heard many reports from staff members about how clear it is what their role is in the city and how much they appreciate Rasha as a manager. For me, I'm devastated that this move was taken, and I feel super concerned about what the future holds without her at the helm.
Thank you. Just please, if you could refrain from clapping, that would be great. You can snap, but please refrain from that. Thank you.
Good evening. Nicholas Davies, 1165 Northeast 127th Street. It is truly tragic to watch what is happening to our city government and our city. But we will finally be holding an election in 6 months' time, and I hope that we can seat a new mayor and council members who will bring new progressive leadership and a culture of democratic consultation with the citizens of North Miami. In the meantime, I just have 4 requests for all of you. First, whatever you do, please do not try to cancel or further postpone our election in November. Second,
I second that.
Second, please do not fire Rasha Camus, the city manager. She is trying to prioritize the most urgent needs of the city, to impose some fiscal discipline, and to root out a corrupt culture of entrenched nepotism. In other words, she's trying to clean up the mess that you have failed to clean up, and in many ways have been making worse. Many people understand this, and that is why there are so many people here tonight, even though we know you never listen to us and probably won't tonight either. Third, please start reading your agenda packets before council meetings and research whatever you don't understand. When citizens come to this chamber because you are discussing proposals that will seriously affect our lives, it is simply insulting to see that you have not even bothered to read the details of these proposals before talking about them and casting your votes. Fourth, please stop wasting
Thank
the
you.
city's money
Thank you for your
on
time.
vanity projects,
Excuse me, sir.
elite
Thank you.
events,
You have to
and
stop now.
tax-funded
You have to stop now, please.
frequent flyer
Go ahead, Madam,
programs.
Mrs. Brown, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening. Judy Brown, 1100 Northwest 128th
Excuse me,
Terrace.
if you
Yeah.
could reset that for me, please. Okay.
And Madam
So I'm-
Vice Mayor, I
yes.
apologize for being late, but
No problem.
y'all, decorum, please.
Yes, and I'm going to state again for the record, please, no clapping. I've asked twice now, if people are clapping, you will be asked to leave the room. We want everyone to have an opportunity to speak, but we want everyone to be respectful. You can snap, that's fine, but please do not clap. Thank you for understanding. Ms. Brown?
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
My 2 minutes. Judy Brown, 1100 Northwest 128th Street, North Miami. I come this afternoon in full support of the city manager. I've lived here for a long time, and I have seen city managers come and go. And I ask, how much money are we going to spend? How much talent is going to walk out of this city? I'm very upset. I'm saddened because I feel that compromise, as long as people are alive and if you're willing to give, one give, the other give, no winners and losers, but compromise. Because we are the residents, especially in District 4. I stand here asking that the water plant, we have been promised that water plant over and over and over. And yes, I was told that, don't worry, Ms. Brown, the water plant will go forth. I'm not saying that it will not go forth, but it's going to be delayed. You have to get somebody up to snuff. No one in 12 months has done what Rasha has done with her staff, and I applaud her. And I am hoping that my council person will understand the importance of what we need. And I know he does, and I know he cares. I know he cares, and he's a good person. So I'm just asking that, I just do believe, I just cannot see why we cannot come together and have a compromise with this for the good of the city. Because the city is moving forward. Everybody feels that. You can see it. I feel it. I know it. I went and got a permit. I got it in 7 days. The work was done, 2 inspection. Never happened before. It is very organized. So I just would like, I'm just asking that I've heard what the Vice Mayor said, that you tried to come to a compromise and it has not worked. But I hope you can.
Thank you for your comment. If you can line up, please, there are 2 podiums. If we can just come in and line up, please.
As of 5:41, Councilman Galvin is present.
I'd like to say good morning to everybody, good afternoon to everyone.
Your
Good
name
evening.
and address for the record, please.
My name is Wilkinson Seju, and I am the owner and landowner of Chef Creole Seafood. I'm located at 13105 West Dixie Highway. I am in support of the council's decision, whichever direction that they feel deemed to go in. I wanted to tell you about an experience that I had when I applied for the CRA in North Miami. I am one not to seek any type of aid from any government organization. And I was talked into getting that aid because I'm a taxpayer. And I can tell you I had one of the worst experiences, and I was very, very, very disappointed and surprised the experience that I had, given that I'm an economic engine, we hire people. Because of that experience, I said I would never in my life ask the government for $1.50 because of how unaccommodating under Rasha the management was with the CRA. I understand that there's a lot of people that support her efforts, but with my experience that I've had, it was very, very disappointing. Till this day, I would not seek any kind of funding for any government because of that experience that I've had. Thank you very, very much.
Veronica Guzman, 540 Northwest 127th Street. Good evening, council members. I'm here in support of keeping our city manager, Raja Kamo. I've lived in the city of North Miami for 35 years, and like others, I have seen city managers come and go. I have seen the morale amongst the employees completely change since she took office. And I want to make a point regarding the resolution. One of the statements is a lack of confidence in the city manager. When we vote and elect and put you council members in office, there is an innate trust that we are instilling in you to do what is right for the residents, not to run a personal agenda of what you want based on the city's budget. With that being said, you know, there are rumors going around of mismanaging of funds, of mismanaging of personal funds, and I find it, in my line of work, I'm an investigator, so I find it disheartening when I research and look at facts and see that I have council members who have been foreclosed on, council members who can't run their own finances, and yet we have to trust you to run the city's budget. I don't feel comfortable with $410 million being up for grabs and not getting another water plant. And in the interim, we're paying the cost for it. So I hope that you do reconsider, because I don't think that there was some kind of consideration or some kind of negotiation when from the last meeting, it was within a week, there was already a special meeting wanting to be held to remove her from office. So I really hope you do reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Eileen B. Caba, 13350 Northeast 3rd Court. 3rd Court has lived through hell under the city. And Miss Rasha Kamo offered a ray of hope, and you just took it away. It is unfortunate that you do not put the best interest of the city at heart. I have seen that District 3 has really had absolutely no representation, and no one has stood up for us in 3rd Court over the last 6 years of hell. In September the 20th of 2023, I wrote to this city and copied the council members' blind copy with my concerns that there was no money for the 3rd Court drainage program after all these years in which you guys, Public Works, screwed up. On the 26th of September, I was told there was 1.5 million. I made an appointment to see. I contacted the mayor of the city, complaining again that I suspected there was no money for 3rd Court. You guys sit here every meeting and you parse words and you say things in a way that make the public don't listen to me. But to prepare for that meeting, there was a staff meeting with Public Works according to the public records we pulled, in which Public Works admitted there was no money for the 3rd Court drainage project. Yes, guys, you hear me correctly.
Thank you for your comment. Ma'am?
My name is Lauren Landgrebe, 385 Northeast 131st Street. I am here to strongly protest the suspension and firing of our city manager. I think this is a very, very, very sad day for the city of North Miami. Not only are we losing a tremendous asset to the city, but we're losing it for very suspicious reasons. And the community is not, let's just say we're not blind to what is going on. We've got elected officials up here, maybe one is not, and we are seriously looking at what our options are, not only with elections, but with legal matters. This is just an embarrassment. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your comment. Next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Brown. I've lived in the city of Miami since 1980. My address is 580 Northwest 134th Street. I'm here in support of the city manager, and I hope that we do not go down the rabbit hole like Opelika in the city of Miami back in the 80s when the city of Miami was, I worked for the city of Miami for 30 years. And back in the 80s, you all going in the same direction of the city of Miami, running like a banana republic without any type of consequence about the law or any type of justification to fire someone. And if you do fire her and go to federal court and she get her job back and you all have to, as a taxpayer, she sued for $2 million. Who's gonna pay it? It's coming out of our money, the resident of the city of North Miami. And you all, we cannot afford to pay for a lawsuit against the city of North Miami. And you know what happens when it goes to federal court is no justification for the termination. We, the resident, will have to pay that bill. And I think you all should think twice before you fired her. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you for your comment. Sir?
My name is Romelito Charles, and I've been part of the city of North Miami since 2005.
Your address for the record, please.
Oh, my address? 14295 Northwest 7th Ave. I own a few properties in North Miami. As a small business owner, and this city manager doesn't represent us. For people who started from nothing like us, she doesn't represent us. And we understand and we know, the commissioners understand, that when you see the news media, when you see the assembly is done, when you see the fast assembly is done against something that means there's money spent, there's a campaign behind it, there's a lot going on just to keep the corruption going on. We're tired. In North Miami, we're tired. And people like me need to be represented. People like me need to be defended. And I think the commissioners are doing an excellent job. They are elected. It's not the first time. It's not the first time somebody loses a job. It's not, if you're not doing a good job, you're supposed to be gone. If you do a good job, you get your job. So why would we be talking about going to federal court, doing all that stuff? It's a job. It's not an elected official. People who's elected are recalled in certain, if they're not doing a good job, we recall them. We take action against them. As a city manager, if you're not doing a good job, action take against you and you lose your job. Simple as that. I don't see the big deal behind it.
Thank you for your comment, sir.
My name's William Simpson, 2005 Alamanda Drive. First, I'd like to thank the city manager. I think she's done a great job. I think she's tried and worked hard to balance the budget and get us out of the deficit that we were in for the last 4, 5, 6 years. So I commend her and I thank her for me and my family. Second of all, I'm not for firing the city manager. She's done a great job and I think we need to keep her. I know personalities get involved in these things, but things can be worked out. But I would like to address my remarks right now to Councilman Pierre-France Charles. Sir, you will be the swing vote tonight. I'm sure everybody in the room knows it. You were elected by your constituents. I'm sorry, you were appointed for Mayor DeSolme, excuse me. But you represent your constituents. You have a very serious decision to make tonight. Not only will your decisions affect the future of this city, it'll also, and its citizens, your vote will determine what's going to happen with development. Without a city manager to guide us, we're going to be like a ship afloat without a rudder. At the end of the day, you will look at yourself in the mirror. You will know whether you did the right thing or not. You report to the citizens just like everybody else. But you are the key vote in this tonight. So I would beckon you and call on you to do the right thing, not be swayed by other things and other people that might not have the best interests. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Howard?
Good afternoon. Howard Tonkin, 12600 Griffin Boulevard. I'm also a small business owner in North Miami. I'm going to read this because I'm nervous. I'm actually a little bit afraid. Since I was kicked off the Planning Commission, I stopped attending council meetings and divested my energy from the city that I live in and that I love. I did this out of fear, afraid of retribution from council if I say one wrong word. The same fear the city manager must feel simply for being fiscally responsible. At a certain point, however, silence becomes complicit. It's like watching the city I love go to hell as parks are destroyed, ancient trees come crashing down all over town, and then through more turmoil, Russia is appointed city manager, and for a moment I breathe a sigh of relief thinking sanity would return to the city streets that have never looked worse. This is not a monarchy. We do not need parties. Most people that live here don't know anything about your parties. What happens when we do get hit by a hurricane? Will you stop throwing parties then? We do not need another party until our water supply is secured into the future, until sustainability is taken seriously, until our tree canopy is restored, and until the homelessness crisis in our city is addressed. All this chaos and drama will seem like a tragic and sad waste for our city if we really do get hit by a hurricane. Let Russia do her job, and please stop throwing parties we don't need and taking trips to Africa and France and wherever else that we don't need. It doesn't help us. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Sir?
Good evening. My name is Kevin Seifried. I live at 12665 Northwest 8th Avenue. I've been a representative and member of our city for most of my life. I'm extremely disappointed in this unwarranted decision to terminate a city manager who finally has what it takes to look you in the face and say no when you want something that you absolutely should not be asking for. To say you were disrespected, we are the ones who are disrespected by your action. Councilman Charles, you have the swing vote. We know what you campaign for. We know what you profess to be your position on ethics. And we're deeply disappointed that you are allowing yourself to go down this road, and we call upon you to change your vote tonight and reinstate this city manager. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Randy?
Good afternoon, Randy Grice, 40 Northwest, 124th Street, North Miami, Florida, 33168. Vice Mayor, council members, this is the city of progress. Tonight, I don't feel like this is progressive. This piece of legislation, I would encourage you all to reconsider. We've had an overwhelming show of support for the city manager tonight. The city manager has affected the hearts and minds of residents across all districts in the city of North Miami. The support is there. I support her being here. I would hope that you all change your mind and support her and continue to work with the city manager. A change in the city manager in a time as this will be extremely crucial, pushing us in the wrong direction. So I strongly encourage you to go ahead and retain the city manager, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Claudia?
Claudia Pasmino, 13504 Northeast 23rd Place. I too ask that you guys please reconsider and keep our city manager. She's been great. I'm also disappointed when I have to explain to my family and my nieces why I'm asking to leave work early and why I'm in a rush to find a red shirt because my other red shirts don't fit me no more because I gained weight. They're like, wait, what? They're acting like high school kids. Why do they want to fire her? And I'm like, I really don't know. And so I know some of you are educators, some of you are parents and have siblings. When you have somebody in your family or in the classroom who have a disagreement, you try to work it out. You tell them, talk it out. We gotta come together. So you guys are professionals. You are city electeds, and you're not giving a concrete reason why you want her fired. And especially, again, somebody said we are being disrespected. You guys know this is a crucial year. Elections, we're getting this money, and you guys have no regards to us. It's like actions speak louder than the words. What it's showing it is that something's personal. What it's showing is how can I trust you guys to represent me in Tallahassee when you guys cannot, amongst yourself, resolve things. Don't parents do what's best for the sake of the children? So for what's the best sake for this residents, for North Miami, please work it out. Have a consideration. Talk it out. I don't know when you guys have meetings if the city attorney have to be there or get a third party, but please have consideration. Again, be an example. We have a youth board. How is the youth board gonna continue? How are you gonna tell young people, work it out, talk it amongst yourself, no hatred when you guys cannot lead by example? So please, keep our city manager.
Thank you for your comment.
Hi, Deborah Davies, 1165 Northeast 127th Street. I strongly oppose the firing of Rasha Kamo. The timing of this was suspect. At the last council meeting, you proposed and then tabled a $100,000 giveaway for a music festival. Then, at the last minute, you proposed firing Rasha and bringing back the $100,000 giveaway to coincide with her firing at the May 14th council meeting. Can we assume that Rasha was opposed to this wasteful spending? And why on earth would you deliberately leave the city with no leadership, just as Anisha Daniel has also left the city? We are getting almost daily emails about breaks in our antiquated water system. By firing Rasha, you are jeopardizing the federal funding she and Anisha worked so hard to secure to fix our water system. This city must finally start prioritizing the real needs of its residents, your constituents, the people who elected you. Well, most of you. You have never seen a new development you don't like, yet you won't fix the infrastructure to provide for all these new residents. Rasha has been trying to deal with the city's real problems, and you thank her by firing her. You roll out the red carpet to lobbyists and developers while Rasha does the hard work of collecting on delinquent water bills from big landlords. As the Biscayne Times wrote, we have a 1962 water plant held together with baling wire, rubber bands, chemical treatments, and heroic staff. Quote, this is no time for unbudgeted parties, council pay raises, foreign trips, or fancy hotel stays. They're talking about you, not Rasha, who is finally starting to put the city back on solid financial ground. Thank you very much, and I really hope you think about this, especially Councilman Charles. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Mark Sells?
Mark Sell, Southwest Dade. I lived in North Miami until about a year and a half ago.
Can you address for the record?
And I write for the Biscayne Times occasionally.
Can
Now,
you state your address for the record, please?
15413 Southwest 105th Avenue, okay?
Thank you.
There you are. You're on the ledge. You're about to jump. Okay, jump. But let's step back from the ledge for a minute, picking up on what Scott said last time. Would this help? How would this help? Whom would this help? First, think of the employees of this city. What do they think about it if you were to have a referendum among them? Take another step back from the ledge. Think of the residents. How is this going to help the residents? It could be in Keystone Point. They could be renters on 6th Avenue. Anywhere. This is a city, let's look at some numbers, shall we? Each of you makes $77,000, almost $80,000 a year. You put it together, you have 58.68% in the state retirement fund. The total cost is for each of you is $247,000. Now take out the advertising, 20, or the discretionary, 50. That's $177,000. Pretty good cabbage. Earn it. Earn it. Table this now. Please, respectfully. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Ma'am?
You want to go? Robin and Marshall Tisdall, 2120 Hibiscus Circle, North Miami, Florida. Esteemed residents of North Miami, City Council members, good evening. I stand before you today as a voice my strong support in favor of our city manager, Rasha Camus. In relatively brief time, she has been at the helm. She has proven herself to be a capable, dedicated, and fiscally responsible leader of our great city. When Rasha first took office about a year ago, our city's financial situation was precarious at best. Years of overspending and mismanagement had left us teetering on the brink. Madam Manager immediately got to work, rolled up her sleeves, and thoroughly examined and understood our finances. With a keen eye for the inefficiencies and a commitment to the responsible governance, she made tough but necessary decisions to rein in spending, cut wasteful programs, and implement money-saving initiatives. Thanks to her leadership, we have dramatically improved our financial position in this short period. But Ms. Rasha's impact goes well beyond just balancing the books. She has leveraged her proven management skills to streamline city operations, delivering services more efficiently to citizens. City departments are running more like well-oiled machines. Employees are happier. Residents are happier. Hell, we're getting a water plant. Perhaps most impressively, she has accomplished this financial turnaround while protecting the vital services that make North Miami a place where you want to live. I love this city. I've been in this city for 20 years, since I moved to Florida, not left it. Our parks are getting much needed TLC, our streets are safe and well maintained, and our community programs are thriving and growing. Under Rasha, an exemplar of public servant, somebody who wakes up every day focused on how to make our city better, stronger, and more vibrant for all residents. Her integrity is unimpeccable and her work ethic is second to none. For these reasons and more, I wholeheartedly endorse Ms. Camus as our city manager and hope that you will join me in maintaining her and our beloved city.
Thank you for your comment.
Karen DeLeon, 1935 South Hibiscus. Councilman Galvin, Councilwoman Estime. Thank you for listening. Right now, I don't feel that Ms. Timothy or Mr. Charles are actually listening to us. Mr. Charles, I'd appreciate your attention for 2 minutes, please. Intelligent, capable, long-range
You got my
thinker.
ears. And
Thank
I'm
you.
paying attention
I appreciate you, sir.
closely to you. I'm
thank
sorry.
You. I
Let's
appreciate
let's
it. Thank
let's
you.
restart her clock, please.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, it's scary to be up here. It is. Karen DeLeon, 1935 South Hibiscus Drive. Intelligent, capable, long-range thinker, leader, thoughtful, good listener, problem solver, focused, kind, perseverant, brave. These are just a few words that describe what I have come to know of Rasha's character. I've been a resident for 35 years. Much of those years I participated in our homeowners association, 8 of which as president. I have worked with approximately 10 managers or interim managers. Rasha is the best, most accessible that I have worked with in a long time. She has long-range vision. She is motivated. She listens. She seeks solutions. She hires well. She believes in grants. Until last month, I looked at all of you with respect. I looked at all of you as if you were rock stars because you chose to have Rasha as our manager. With Rasha as manager, we were moving forward. I had hoped for our future. I thought we were the city of progress. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps you guys know something I don't know. Could you please prove it to me? Show it to me. Sad, despondent, lacking hope, frustrated, disappointed. This is how I wake up each morning thinking about the state of our city. I dreaded coming here tonight. It's just too ridiculous. It's too sad. It's wrong. Rasha, thank you. Thank you for your commitment to our city and our residents. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for the short-term hope you have given me. Wherever you land, you will be fine. I sure hope it's with us.
Thank you for your comment. Ma'am?
Good evening. My name is Armel Dazulut. I've been a resident in North Miami for 35 years. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. My address, my resident is 1315 Northeast 137th Street. I am here to strongly support my District 3, Vice Mayor Mary Estimate Alvin, Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy, and Councilman Pierre Franz Charles on their resident decision to end the job of the city manager. Vice Mayor Mary has constantly demonstrated dedication to well-being and progress in our community. Her decision reflects a strong understanding of needs and concern of the peoples. Special interest group, unregistered lobbyists, meddling in the business of the city end tonight, which are decisions to make the city back to the residents. Like the Bible says in Isaiah 54, verse 17, no weapon formed against me will prevail. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for your comment. Sir?
Good evening, all. Robert Lorenzo, 11690 Northeast 18 Drive. And I live in Keystone.
I'm sorry, 1 second, please. If we can have silence so we can restart his time. Your name,
I don't have
your name and address for the record again, please.
Sure, Robert Lorenzo. One of the properties we have is 11680 Northeast 18th Drive. I live in Keystone. So I don't want to repeat everything that everyone has said tonight, but I just want to show my support for Russia. A couple of the concerns that we had recently, we reached out to Commissioner Galvin, and he notified her, and they were taken care of pretty quickly. I've lived in Keystone, or I lived actually in North Miami for pretty much all my life, 49 years. And I got to say that we've seen a lot of governments come and go, and I am truly, truly impressed, just like Karen said, with Rasha's commitment and her dedication. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say how disappointed I am that we're here and that you all didn't make tonight a priority to honor the officers who are going to be honored at 6:30. I knew 2 of those 3 officers, and I wish I was there honoring them instead of being here. And I'm very, very disappointed in every single one of you all for not taking the leadership to pause this and put it off to another time. But I've been supervising and leading people for over 20 years. And one of the biggest parts of leadership is realizing when you've made a mistake, to take a pause and to try different things before making such a rash decision like firing somebody. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Dr. Rudy Moise?
Dr. Rudolph Moise, excuse me, 650 Northwest 120th Street, North Miami. I'm also the proud chairman of Mocha Museum. I'm here today as the owner of Comprehensive Health Center. And 4 years ago, I was able to build this beautiful facility. It cost me close to $4 million, but I got $650 from CIA because of this woman. If that because of her, I wouldn't be able to have such a beautiful building. Secondly, this serves as a catalyst to develop Northwest 7th Avenue. In fact, we are planning on doing a $125 million project right around the corner, and I met with Councilman Pierre Charles and my partner are going to be doing this to provide workforce housing for the area. That whole area is going to be transformed because she actually started it. So I know all of you. I know your heart is in the right place. Please do not fire Ms. Camo. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Beverly Hilton, 12495 Northwest 6th Avenue. I just want to, at the last meeting, I just want to remind Councilman Charles of something he said, the reason why he didn't want to have the city manager anymore. But I found this, a door hanger of your accomplishment. And it shows, and I'm looking at this and I'm, wait a minute. Councilman Charles said the reason no one listens to him, can't get anything done. But on this, it shows all your accomplishment. So I'm just confused. If you'll explain, you're not getting anything done, but this card says different. I support the city manager. She's doing a great job, and we need to keep her as the city manager. Councilman Charles, again, you're the swing vote. Please check inside, okay? Don't let this be a personal thing. Think about the community, because we all going to pay. The city manager goes, you know, okay, it's going to cost us a lot of money. Think about that. We have no city manager, no deputy manager. Who's going to run the city? Okay? So please rethink. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment. Citizen or public hearing is open. Okay.
Kenneth Each, 13045 Emerald Drive, North Miami. I've been connected with this city since 1970 when I joined the police department. Never have I ever seen an outpouring of support for a city manager in all the years I've been here. Right now, this city is on the abyss. We are on the very edge. Many years ago, when I met with President Aristide from Haiti, I was with the old mayor, Mike Kolodny. He gave a speech. And he said, when we bleed, we all bleed the same color blood. Let us learn how to live together, work together, love together, then we will prosper together. Under this lady's leadership, we are now prospering. For the first time in many, many years, I have felt a sense of confidence, a sense of progress in this city. I've seen her change the lackadaisical attitudes of some of our employees to bring forth to the citizens the services that they deserve. You know, people might not like that, but that's the truth. First of all, before I said anything, what are the charges against her? We would all have liked to heard that before we come up here. I want to know what she did that was so terrible. Maybe there's something that is wrong. I don't know. But we didn't hear any charges against her. But I can tell you in unison, we are all in support of her. We are on the abyss right now. If she leaves, it's almost like, almost like North Miami Beach. We're pitting people against each other. This is wrong. This is not why I live here. I respect each and every one of you. I supported you guys when you went for your positions. Please listen to the people. Tonight, my dear friend, Councilman Charles, you have to look at all the evidence. Many years ago, JFK.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
The public hearing is still open.
Good evening. Eric Rio, 12418 North Bayshore Drive. I think it's unfortunate that we're here this evening to take time out of our busy schedule. I've been a resident for 25 years and probably like everyone in this room had some interaction with the city, whether it be a code enforcement issue, paying a water bill, talking to elected officials, or contacting staff regarding new development. My experience in the past 25 years has been challenging and I'll tell you frustrating. My interaction with elected officials has been positive for those that have contacted me back. Unfortunately, those that didn't contact me back, I did not have the opportunity to voice my opinion. Upon contacting and interacting with the new city manager personally, I will tell you she's extraordinary. She's a city manager that will contact you back, answer your email, and follow up. I know this because I've been a public servant for 40 years. I've worked in local governments. It's very rare that you have a city manager contact you and follow up. The previous city managers I've written to many times, I've never gotten so much as a response. Ms. Kamau was the best example of what you want as a city manager to run government. And since she's been employed here, she has put personnel in place that's responsive, courteous, professional to serve the residents. I understand the city manager council form of government. I understand. But you all work for the residents of the city, all 4 districts, not just one district. Since the employment of city manager, I'm confident the city is in good hands and the future is back on track. We have had city managers whose neighbors could not get a call back, city staff did not respond to emails. Let's not return to that standard operating procedure. In closing, I request each of you, if you determine the city manager has not served the needs of the residents, provide specific instances, events, bring it upon yourself to vacate her from this office. The residents here, we are owed that detail, not just general specifics in a resolution. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Ma'am?
Hi, my name is Maria Ritter, I live in 451 Northeast 126th Street. I usually don't come here because I feel like it's very hopeless. It's always the same, never change. It's always 3-2. I already call you 3-2 because there's never another vote. When I moved here, I had a really good experience with Scott Galvin. We had an issue. We got together. He came, he looked at it, and the problem got solved. Very nice. I feel like with Russia, it was the same experience. I reached out. I didn't even know anything because I'm not engaged anymore. And she reached out. I had a problem, got solved. Another problem, if she not answer herself, somebody else answer for herself, and things get done. And that is a very good feeling as a resident. I don't feel ever represented from my councilwoman. The only time I saw her, that was when doing voting. Some neighbor had an issue with the sewer. The same day she came in person, the street got ripped open, the problem got fixed. So it can be fixed. Things can be fixed fast. It's very complicated. Why is it not like in your house? You know, you have an issue, you solve it. You don't have money, you take the buckle and you save money. You don't spend more money. And things have to be fixed. I'm waiting for all these good things that we get promised. Cockney Park, I live almost 20 years here. Trees get cut down, there's no replacement. For what reason, I don't know. These days, I don't feel environment is any issue here. A new building, and another new building, and another new building. Oh, and that gets done very fast. The thing gets approved, next day we're gonna start. So when is the things happen for us? You need to keep people that are capable to do things for the resident. I'm a neighbor, you're my neighbors. I don't feel you're like something else. That's what you for, like your neighbor, and you help each other.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Evan?
Hi, Evan Shields, 2481 Northeast 135th Street. I mean, listen, I've been a homeowner, a small business owner here, vice mayor, council. I've worked literally with each of you and our city manager the last 4 years as chair of our Affordable Housing Advisory Committee and as a member of our Board of Adjustment. I mean, listen, we're at a crossroads and we've got a fantastic city manager in place and we have no backup plan. I mean, there's been zero transparent reasons why she should be removed. And let me give you 6 why we should keep her. I mean, 1, she commands significant respect of our community. I think you've heard that here today. I don't need to say any more about that. 2, I've worked with 2 different parts of our staff. I've worked with several people. Listen, she has built camaraderie and respect amongst our staff. You can see it. 3, we have so many pivotal projects, infrastructure and otherwise that are ongoing. How are we going to evince any confidence of the federal government and any of our private or nonprofit sector partners with no manager, no deputy city manager behind her, or even folks in public works or other folks in staff who might get poached if she leaves? What is our backup plan? And listen, on top of that, we have critical development projects. I've seen that on our Board of Adjustment. There's never been a time where we've had more investment than now. What can we do to build up that confidence? Last, 5 and 6, we're in a critical election year. This is the first time our city is ever having elections during a presidential election. We've got President, U.S. Senate, incredible ballot initiatives on the ballot, along with our city council, the majority of which who are up. How are we going to get through this election year right now without a city manager? And 6, this should be the opinion of our next city council to make this decision.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Sir?
Yes, I'm James Nelson. I'm from 15511 Northeast 13th Avenue. Russia is not a good person, you guys. Everybody cheer up because community is good. We working without her, and everybody is following their own paths. It's not the first time she had somebody lose their jobs and get fired. Everybody in this world, it's getting better without her, so we don't need Russia around. All right, everybody enjoy.
Thank you for your comment. Mayor?
Good afternoon, Kevin Burns, 2065 Alamanda Drive. It's very, reclaim my time.
And go.
Kevin Burns, 2065 Alamanda Drive. It's very disappointing to be here tonight to discuss the removal of the city manager. Normally, when you have these type of proceedings, there's a presentation that is made by the legal staff or by the people leading the charge for the removal, and outline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our reason. The residents get to understand it, and then they get to come up and voice their opinion. You opened up public comment right away, and a lot of people asked, well, what did she do that was so bad? Other than balance the budget, get rid of a lot of dead wood employees that thought they were untouchable, got rid of the friends and family program that we had in this city for so many years. We've had many city managers that have stayed around well longer than they should have. Rasha's one that we should keep. She's the most accomplished, professional, Haitian-American public servant that there is in all of Miami-Dade County. And that says something. I'm quite proud of that. I was in Dade County City Hall, the county commission meeting, and it's already a topic of conversation down there. They're already saying, here we go again with North Miami. Here we go. Do you think the federal funding is just going to continue along when there's no captain of the ship right now? All that, people watch. There's repercussions to everything you all do, especially when you remove one of the most accomplished city managers in this community or in this county. The other thing is, any of you, it's the easiest thing to do is fire somebody. It is so simple for you all to fire somebody. What's more difficult is having to work with somebody that you don't necessarily see eye to eye with. That's when leadership comes in, and you work towards something. I have seen Rasha take on difficult constituents, difficult developers.
Thank you for your time, Mayor. Jim?
Jim Garrett, 247 Brittany, Delray Beach, Florida, 33446. I drove 74 miles here. Good evening, Madam Clerk. Good evening, City Attorney. Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Madam Manager. I'm going to tell you this. Please take a step off the cliff. Please. I seen this when I moved into the city in 1972. I came to a council meeting. It was empty except for Councilman Lafredo and the city clerk, Ime Abel. Or city council or manager or city attorney, 2 directors were all indicted and removed from office. This city has a bad reputation in treating good city managers. Frank Yorkie, the first city manager, from 1953 to 60, we fired him. He went to Lakeland for 20 years and built the Lakeland Civic Center, which they named the conference center after him. Woody Hampton, 64 to 66, he got fired. He ended up at Pember Pines, 70 to 89. They named the city hall after him. Larry Casey, 1973 and 1991, Scott can tell you this. There was a coup d'etat up here between the mayor and councilman. And Councilman Rowland and Councilman Primer, they first meeting, and a former city councilwoman tried to be the city manager. We had Lee Foreman for 6 years, and we had Anita Fane that was escorted out of this building. We treat our city managers like garbage. We have someone good. My question is this: when you put the ad out there in the National League of Cities ad to find a replacement, no one is going to come and interview for this job, because if you want to know this, the word out in the street is this place is your ending stop of your career. I ask you, you got someone. Guess what? I haven't been around you guys for a year and a half because you guys been good. Honestly.
Thank you for your comment, Jim. Ma'am?
My name is Shalea Morissette. I'm the Chief of Minority Business and Workforce Division for the U.S. Department of Energy. I'm here to actually educate people on how to do business with the federal government, and I couldn't ignore what's happening. I cannot misuse my position to influence you. I'm asking you to stand for something or fall for anything. You have a very important role. What's out in the hallway is monumentous. Thank you for showing up. Thank you. You are supposed to be fiscally responsible. $200.9 million. Who will manage it responsibly if you get EPA's money? She has worked incredibly hard because I know how difficult it is to obtain these funds. Stand for something or fall for anything. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Sebastian?
Hello, everybody. Sebastian Semla, 822 Northeast 125th Street. I'm a forever optimist. That's who I am as a person. And so what I do see tonight in this room is it's the first time that I've seen so many people come out in support of something. So thank you to everybody who's come out and shown the support for our city manager. Clearly, we don't always have to agree. It's a democracy, it's America, and that's the beauty of our country. I do want to speak, however, of the efficiencies that I've seen in the city of North Miami. First of all, I want to say that staff has been unbelievable, from everybody in the building department to planning and zoning to the people in public works. I've had nothing but great experiences. So for any other developer that's listening out there, yes, this may be a little bit shaky of a time, but in general, the city has been fantastic to work with. I had a major emergency a couple days ago, something that could have set off my project by months. I made an emergency call to our city manager. It was resolved within almost 24 hours, if not even that much. And this is what's important to us as developers, that there is consistency, that there is a staff that stands behind a city manager. So whatever your decision is tonight, I hope that you can appreciate how much support our city manager has. And you know, what is important to us for the development of the city is making sure that, you know, that we don't rock the ship, that we have a lot going for us, and this is not the kind of publicity that we want. So, you know, I do ask of you to please.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Thank you. I'm Jessica Machado, 13355 Northeast 10th Avenue. I've been a resident of the city for about 8 years, and I have seen the progress in that short time. And I am very concerned of the direction that this council is moving in. It is at a minimum your responsibility to be fiscally responsible, and you have not. It is at a minimum your responsibility to lead and govern through difficult times and be steady. And you are showing yourselves unable to do that. At the very least, consider yourselves. You can see what kind of support Rasha has. This election is a presidential year, so there will be a high turnout. At the very least, consider your jobs. Because you know what happens when the people who vote don't trust you? We will clean house. I promise you that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Steve?
Steve Pizzolo. My address is protected under Florida Statute 119. I know most of you know me. I worked here for 7 years. I've been gone for 2.5. I worked here under 5 different city managers, and my only comment is, what are you guys thinking? You finally have somebody that's riding the ship. Let her do her job. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Public hearing is still open.
Jody Sobrino, 1805 Alamanda Drive. And first of all, I don't ever come to these things. It's probably been about 3 years. And when I heard what was taking place, I told myself I need to come out here and see what's going on. And secondly, I want to address this quickly to Councilwoman Timothy, who has not lifted her head maybe one time since this whole thing has been going on, with a smirk on her face, like she's just indifferent to everything. And this is a very, very important matter at hand right now. And she still won't lift her head. I mean, this is bothering me. I mean, we have a great city manager right now. I don't know what happened. Maybe you guys will tell us, as everybody has asked, what happened. But you don't fire somebody because she maybe said no to you, or clearly no to her because she can't even look up. I mean,
if I will interrupt you for a second, please don't address it to a specific person.
well,
You can
she's
say-
the one who's not paying attention to the meeting.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead with your comments.
That's what I'm saying. She's just smirking, and it's frustrating.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. But when we have a good city manager, keep her. Don't let her go. This is one of the best things for this city. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your comments. Public hearing is still open. Public is still open. Okay.
Hello, my name is Marisol Medina at 1270 Northeast 124th Street. I am here just to speak in favor of keeping Rasha. You've heard a lot from a lot of people. I hope that we do as the community is speaking. I know you guys are for, but we are many. And hear us. That's it.
Thank you for your comment.
I'm last.
Go ahead. Name and address for the record, please.
14150 Northwest 6th Court, Dietrich Val. The truth doesn't change based on your ability to stomach it. Okay? So let's talk about some truths. Most of North Miami is made up of working class people who are at work right now. Okay? The voice of the people is not made up of just a few. It's made up of a large group of working class people. Let's talk about some truths as well too, some more truths. You don't have to tear anybody else down to build anybody else up. Okay, so I'm not here to disparage anybody's record, but I am here to support the council, the vice mayor, France Charles, and Cassandra Timothy. Most of the people moaning and most of the people jeering at them don't pay taxes in North Miami. They don't live in North Miami. Most of them don't. Let's do a fact check. Most of them laughing don't live in North Miami. Let's do a fact check. Most of the people live in a small area of North Miami, and they feel like they want their voice to be heard. Their voice can be heard. But I'm here to support the council. The council has done a great job. France Charles, he's done an excellent job. I have businesses in this district. I'm a stakeholder. I own property in this district. I'm not a renter, like some of the people in here. like most of the people in here. But I'm not here to disparage anybody.
Thank you for your comments. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Alan Eggert, 11950 West Dixie Highway. I'm just appalled by the council's lack of respect for anybody in this room. The two of you haven't looked up but once. You're disgusting individuals.
Excuse
and there's
me, sir.
accountability.
Sir,
no,
sir.
I'm talking. Don't
Sir,
disrupt me. I'm talking.
No, I'm going to
there's
stop
accountability.
you. I am going to
there's
stop.
accountability. And when the state attorney's done, I hope you wind up in jail.
Mr. Eggert,
You
thank
cannot, and
Thank
we
you.
made this comment earlier, you cannot
Thank you.
slander and be disrespectful. We are allowing you to make any comments that you want, but you cannot disrespect people
Thank
here.
you. Thank you, Mr. Eggert.
So,
are you ready to make comments without disrespecting anyone?
well, maybe they should look up and not
It's- I
disrespect me and look
I-
at me.
I understand that, but go ahead, sir, with your comments about the issue. Thank you kindly. And we'll go ahead and restart your
Thank you.
comments. As long as there's no slander, if there is, you will be asked to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and restart the clock.
Alan Eggert, 11950 West Dixie Highway. When will we have accountability? Is there ever going to be accountability after you terminate the only good city manager we've had in the past many years? We are finally on a track forward with somebody that's progressive, and all you want to do is pull back because you're being told no as a council for what you want for your personal agenda, your personal gain, not our gain. It's our tax dollars. It's our city. We unfortunately made the unfortunate mistake of electing some of you. Scott, I thank you for your 25 plus years of great service. You are an incredible individual, and I thank you personally, and I think everybody in this room does as well. I have nothing else to say outside of there needs to be accountability, and I hope that accountability comes soon in the most treacherous way to you council members.
Thank you for your comment. Ma'am?
My name is Gail Kornblum. I live at 12785 Maple Road. I have been a taxpayer and homeowner in North Miami, as most of my neighbors own their homes too. I've been paying taxes for 32 years. I've attended more city council meetings than I ever wanted to. I'm 80 years old. I'm ready to give it up. But I insist with what I am seeing. North Miami was a laughing stock for a long, long time. North Miami Beach was a laughing stock, their government, for a long time. The same names keep coming up all the time. There are controls that are not in the control of the people who have elected you. For the first time this past year, I see city employees coming to work in my neighborhood, and they're actually working. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I approached Public Works vehicles over the years and asked them if they needed a bottle of water, if something was wrong with their vehicle. They're sitting there, they're playing games on their computers and the laptops and on their phones, and nobody was working. For the first time, under the guidance of this city manager, we are seeing workers work in the city. The morale has been so much better. I don't understand. I would love to hear your reasons as why you feel this termination has to take place.
Thank you for your comment. You'll be the last comment. Go ahead.
George Izquierdo, 2120 Northeast 124th Street, resident of North Miami, formerly of the lobby. Majority of everyone in the lobby was from North Miami. What this looks like, unfortunately, is if you're not on the team, you're off the team. You don't go with the flow, you're gonna get thrown overboard. That's what it looks like. There's no benchmarks. We don't know anything. That's a generalized statement. Lack of leadership, no vision. Come on, I get better excuses for my kids when I put them in timeout. Why is she being fired? No one's answering the question. Why? Also, I have one question. Why? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I vote to keep the city manager. Don't make a mistake.
Thank you for your comment. A public hearing is now closed. We have a motion and a second at the table.
Madam Vice Mayor, I apologize because I was about 10 minutes late when I got here. What was the motion that was on the table?
So the motion is to go with the preliminary resolution and to establish Anna Bo Emanuel as interim city manager.
May I?
Absolutely. If there's any discussion, go ahead.
Thank you. And Ms. Camo, you have been a fantastic city manager. I have appreciated working with you. I did a quick sketch out here. I've, in my 25 years, had 13 city managers that I've had the privilege to work with. You stand above them all. Sorry, Lee Feldman, because I know you're watching. But I greatly appreciate everything you've done for the city and all the time that you've put in. And yes, I've had differences with you, and you've got some late night phone calls from me. But thank you for everything you've done for the city of North Miami.
All right. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Estime Irvin to approve the item at tab A and to appoint Anna Bo Emanuel as the interim city manager. The motion was seconded by Councilman Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion
Nay.
carries.
Sorry.
No worries. The item passes with a 3-1 vote.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
We have citizen forum.
I have a
Folks, come on. Come on. Let's move to adjourn.
Okay,
Because
no
the
problem.
Citizens Forum is just going to rehash all of this.
All right. So there's a motion to move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
I
Thank
have
you.
a motion made by Councilman Galvin to adjourn, seconded by Councilman Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 3-0 vote. The time is now 6:49 p.m.